Good morning, everyone. This is the Hucolo Saturday webinar with Jim Charles. Today is Saturday, August 27th, 2022. And we have several guests with us today. Online, we've got, in the room, we've got me. I'll be hosting Yana, Susan, Jim, Barb, Christine, Joan, Lilypad, Safira, Sheer, and Wendy. And good morning, Jim. How are you today?
Good, and I have a couple guests here too. I have Will and Ray.
All right. We do have an announcement. We have scheduled the next class. It is channeling class. It is going to be on Saturday, October 15th, 1:30 to 5:30. The price will be $150. If you are interested in the channeling class, please send an email to classes@hucolo.org. I will get all the information on how to sign up for that. Again, it's Saturday, October 15th, 1:30 to 5:30. And for blessings today, Yana, Barb, Susan, and Will for blessings. So we'll start with Yana. Oh, wait a minute, before I do that, Jim, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm good. Welcome, everybody, and I'm glad to see you all here today. And keep very positive thoughts. I have a feeling some powerful people are coming today, and I don't know who they are.
Okay, so let's start with blessings, and then we will go to the requests.
Good morning, everybody. This is the Arcturians again. Te ke ante na ahar te koa ashtanoa. Ante te ko ua hanta taine ke e iste entkaha ata urtu tua kanta teneke ite te koa tata istete tortua anta ja taka aitua istete nka a ite en ahakatata urt hanake atakata te no koata stata neketa uchta nake tata just ai kate tutua anta ta kata.
As you greet the world with love and unconditional love, make sure your voice connects with the heart so that the heart and the voice can speak to the people as one and does not come out in a harsh way or in a way that seems condescending. You must live through this time now because it is a time of great uprisings. And your voice is part of those that will lead the way into greater and upper movement. So make sure your voice is tempered with love, with understanding, not boastfulness, but with kindness, compassion, healing, and love.
Thank you.
Shatakanana hiata tokorota hiata manati. Kututo parata kariti hiata kurita data kariti. Kurutu takana nadata tiata pakatiya tikishi. Kirotoro to manata katakariat karoto toriata. Kitty pigiriata tokoro korata takanini tijiji. Kutobada hadiata konoto. Namanatia tokoto. Blessings and love.
I see that many of you have your eyes opened, but to what do you have the eyes open to? Make sure it is based on what God wishes for the world. Make sure that it is what your heart is moving toward. Make sure that your love is being presented in all that you do, in all that you say. Bring forth that which is powerful in your lives. For each one of you has a great, powerful, and wonderful mission.
Okay, am I next?
Yes.
Okay. Tuosia ki toia sikitia usta kataya hia kotoya hia sakotoa. Hazakia hoisia koya tayatoya kia hosia kototo. Hazia koya tia hoya sia kia sikotoya hia siko hia zoya hia koya hia sukotoya hia sikitoya hia sukotoya tayaya. That was Yanor of the Galactic Dragons.
I speak with great confidence and great admiration for many of you. You are being who you are meant to be. I am one who will guide you along if you need guidance. Call on me. Call on those that are helpful. Call on those that you trust. It is a time when you will need others to help you through. You cannot do this on your own. This is a time when help is needed. Do not be too prideful to be able to sense when you need help yourself.
Hati tukuruhuti ska. Arhano u usha awo gushi a tikiwaha. Chihoto urtana. Shira haruhaka e tukur no horto. Usha nawa hakarwi. Arkuhariato. Usha akanahashi I kwatia aha. Isha hana atohuchuku oha. Shaikia akash kanati tukashko hoto. Hutakishki atanaharwa hashka awahiko. Husanahata artahati. Husha ayahakotuho. Unawaha aahkanaha. Isahanana haka eakaha.
Do not be lost in this third density, and do not be lost in the fourth, but have a great balance between them. There are things to see, signals in the sky, within your heart, within your mind. Pay attention to all that is with you, the light codes, and all that is speaking to you. Do not ignore the voices within you, because many of them are shouting to get your attentions at this time. You need to be aware of the balance that is here, the balance between the third and the fourth and the spirit dimensions. They all come together and become a great ball of information, a great energy ball, and a great healing balm as well. It is that this is the time for great balance in all things. Do not get lost in one place or another.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all those wonderful blessings. We have several on our list for requests today. Elijah, Ish, Grendel, Jonah Bark, Ashtar Command. Yana is asking for the winged being that was in her living room. Kuaru, Wendy is asking for a council member that has been with her, as well as a warrior Indian that has been with her for several days now. Those are on the list.
Very good. I will do a meditation, and I'll bring, I know Elijah's coming in, but very briefly. And then there's many others here. So many of them have good messages, I hope. So I'm seeing that there's some good energy here.
Thank you.
One moment, please. There it is. I am Elijah. Today I want to speak to you about the mind of God. You say, what is the mind of God? That is a mind that is structured around who you believe God to be. Is it structured around this world? Partially, because he has created this world. He is part of this world. Is it structured around other places higher than this? Absolutely. And the last person spoke about balance. The mind of God is the balance of God within you. The mind of God is to show you the truth about all things within you. It is not to be harsh with you. It is not to be demeaning to you, but uplifting in a way that will show you and correct you into a way that is beautiful and very much part of what is needed in this world today. There's far too much violence and far too much negativity, far too much arguing and disagreements, far too much and anticipating negativity coming. What I want to speak to you today about is just that. The mind of God is a pure thought, is a calm thought, is peaceful. It remains within you and brings you comfort, love, strength, confidence. The mind of God is always speaking to you and you to him. It's always a conversation. It's never just one way, give me, give me, give me. It's always both ways, for he is always speaking to you in the silence. I remember when I was on this planet, there was that time when I found that silence, finally. I was a wild man. I did many crazy things, killed many people, because I thought I needed to defend myself. I needed to have God's total attention on me. But when I went to the mountain, there was a great wind that blew up. But God was not in the wind. And then there was a great earthquake that happened. And God was not in the earthquake. And then there was a great fire that consumed many things. But God was not in the fire. And then the silence. There was a still small voice. Not one of great trumpets or great loudness, but almost silent. This was the voice of God in the stillness, in the beauty of silence. He makes himself known, his calmness, his beauty, his peace, his real essence is there. From the very beginning, he was a very quiet but powerful being. Learn who he is. Bring him into yourself and know him in that silence, quietness, and peace. That is all I have to say for today.
Much love to you, Elijah.
This is Awensa.
Greetings.
I am the Indian that you have seen. I am Dream Goddess, one who sees the earth in a different way and with different colors. One who is aware of all that is in this realm and in the next and in the next and in the next. I have been here with my peoples, and I am now still here with your peoples. It is time for us to speak together and make ourselves known that the Indian cultures of this realm are what keeps this realm intact in many ways. We've always known the truth and always speak it without delusion, without convolution. We know that it is what is, and the stories are true and very pointed. We bring information and wisdom to your people that you do not have, for you are caught up in a society that gives you great discontent and great unawareness of what is truly there. I am Awensa, dreamer of the earth, knower of the sky. What questions do you have for me? For I will speak directly.
Thank you so very much for coming and even giving us that information about the Indians and that they are the holders of the truth. Wendy has requested you, and so go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and giving me the vision. Now, I know you were giving me words of wisdom. I imagine my soul picked it up, but my 3D body did not. I didn't hear your words directed for me.
Yes.
Was the message that you just gave the same? Thank you. And so with this trip that I'm getting ready to do in Mount Shasta on the 21st through the 26th of September with this primarily women, I've been getting, probably from you, guidance to do women's warrior paint as we're healing the divine feminine, like painting our faces. And so is it acceptable if I wear the paint that you wore that I saw in my vision? And how does this benefit us?
The paint that I wore are markings of my station. They are not markings for beauty. They are not markings for anything but who I am and how I have been distinguished among women and among the tribes. If you wear this paint, wear it proudly, but with humility as well. For it is not only the paint of wisdom, but it is the paint of power and understanding. If you wear it, understanding and wisdom should come from you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, I think as I'm guiding many of them in their journey, both of these teachings and the knowledge that I have picked up will definitely be shared. And so I hope that I'll make a modification, but I hope that I will be respectful in the way that I present myself when I am painted in this fashion. Thank you. Blessings to you. And thank you for coming through with your wisdom today.
You are welcome. There are many threads on you. Many very, very positive, but there are a few dark ones. you must shed. You know which ones these are and which way to go with them. They are hard to shed because they are so close and they have been there so long. But I love who you are, and I know that by the time that you reach your destination, those threads will be plucked.
Thank you. I appreciate the team's assistance along the way with helping bring those to my awareness so that I may work on them.
There is no perfect being, not even I. But the closer to perfection that you become, the greater wisdom and understanding you have, and the greater your message will be, and the more voices will join it, and more voices and ears will hear it.
Thank you. Weya hea ho ho he ha ya o aha hea na hai aho aho aho. Blessings.
That what you said means the spirit wind is here and is going between each of you and guiding and directing whenever necessary or possible. Spirit wind has always been with us. Who else wants to speak?
There is a question from Zanied. Can you unmute and ask your question?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Very well.
I wish you peace. I have a question, and I would like to know what is the right way, the perfect way to reach the state of a witness? What I mean by that is I witness everything around me, and yet when I witness everything around me, I feel like I am simply witnessing myself. So my question is there a real difference between all that I witness and the I that arises in here, which I believe the identity, the me, the Zanayad, is there any difference between what is perceived around me and the one that is perceived within this embodiment? Is there a real difference?
There is no difference. Let me tell you why. Because you are the perceiver, and you can only perceive what the I and the mind is able to perceive. If you cannot perceive it, then you cannot know it. But within yourself, there is a great unbounded spirit. There is a great unbounded understanding. And that is still you, with the additions of those things that you brought in to become you, that you accept as you, that you accept as wisdom, that you accept as those that are guides. All these things are part of you. And as you are faceted with these different visions and knowings, all becomes you, does it not? No matter what plane you see it on, if you are able to perceive it, it is part of you. If you perceive God in one way, that is also you in your perceptions. As you bring all things into you and grow and become part of all things become you. All things demonstrate what they are in your perception. Your perception may be different than others because of the way they have been brought in, the way you sense them, perceive them, and know them. But all things embody you. And how are these things to be used? You will let them know what you require from them. and you will understand that they will give you the answers that you require, because they, as you, are servants of the universe.
Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I believe with that, what you just said, with that, all judgments and all prejudices just dissolved.
Correct.
Anything that I held against what I perceived as not acceptable, that is me, myself.
Correct.
And by dissolving that judgment, I become it, and I become one with it. And that becomes me, and I
You
become,
rise.
yes. And that I becomes the all, and there is no perceiver or the perceived. It's just one. The form and the formless merge into the unfathomable.
Correct. And feel the energy I send to you.
Yes.
I love it. Remember, use all that you know and are wisely. And yes, let those things go that you understand are not to be with you. You will still know them, for it is part of you always, but it is a lesson with you and a reminder of greatness that is coming.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you.
I am Awensa, but you may call me Jim if you wish.
Thank you, Awensa. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Awensa, for coming today. I don't have any other questions for you. Would you leave us with a blessing?
Yes. Tayo sanza patia kowa toa. Anjaya fandikawa tuku yanyayam. Fietiamba from jam yadiam punji ya. Uhatata sanzivia satu. Huriata kashanjata japcha. Ya kashamja. Ia sundu kata. Ya ta 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 ta. Uranda visivia sata. Anzu zanzuti. Kurada.
Blessings.
Yeah. 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 One moment, please. It's getting easier to get into him. Or maybe he's gaining weight. I'm not sure. This is Grendel.
Good morning, Grendel. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Third density, love it. Oh, in some ways. Yeah.
Before we get started with a lot of questions, because I know people will have questions knowing that it's you here today, is there anything that you would like to share with us first that would help set the stage of like, what are you doing, information for us?
All right. Well, yeah. All right. Where to start? That's the only problem. You never know where to start. But with this group, I'm going to tell you this. The technology in your planet has now increased a great deal in the last several years. And as a person that's working with your governments at this time, I have been able to see firsthand some of these things. I'll just call it things because they're just amazing. Now, not that I don't have them in my world, but I didn't expect to see them in your world. So I am a little concerned that they're a little too much for your people to handle. So as a military person, which I always am, I will let you know that I am doing my best to keep these things safe. And I know they're listening to me because I know what they do. So, and I want to just give them that warning through my very blunt perspective, because not everyone listens to me as the person that I am in the military in your great United States. Now, I know there's many things going on in other lands and things of that nature, which I'm also involved in, but that's not my greatest concern right now, because that will come to an end at some point. I don't see there's too much more fuel in that fire unless someone else comes and dumps some on it. So we'll see what happens. But at this point, I'm open for questioning. Who called me?
I can't remember who called you.
It was
Will
Will. I
did.
think.
Will did. He's right behind you.
Oh, well, there you are. Yes.
I don't have any real questions. I just missed your presence and your perspective. And exactly. Well, there's a lot of reasons why we love you.
Yeah. Flattery will get you everywhere.
Yes,
you know that.
yes.
Yes. Okay. It works all the time. Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of questions that are not appropriate for this webinar that you will just deny answering the questions.
Well, maybe. Yeah, there's a possibility. I understand. But it is not that you shouldn't ask. I might be able to give a outline perspective of them, or maybe give you a little clue as to what's going on, but some of them will not be directly answered, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
So advice for us that are not in the news, that we're not in the news, but what can we do as normal human beings to influence all those trying to collaborate on both sides of idiocracy?
Yes.
Okay, so you get where I'm going.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I understand it. Yes. The thing that you should do is write your actual thought process and what you think to whoever it is that you trust the most in the government, if there's anyone you trust at all. So that is you need to stand up for what you believe always. And many people are hiding behind their other people's belief systems, so they can just say yes or no, or, oh yeah, I like that person, but they won't discuss it. You know what I'm saying? Not anymore. It's become the beginnings of a violent conversation if you discuss politics. So they're hiding now, and nobody knows what anybody thinks really. So except for those that are actually loose cannons, if you want to call them that, then you know the loose cannons what they think, but a lot of times you disregard them because they are loose cannons. So right now is a good time for you to understand what you really believe. Know in your heart what you want this country to be like, or whatever country you live in. Know what you want for yourself. Know what you want for your country, and then stand by that. Do not just give in to one thing or another, a trend or whatever it is that you give into to make life more comfortable. But you must stand and be yourself. You must stand for what you actually believe. But most of you don't even know what you actually believe because you've lost track of the truth. the truth within you about where you live. You're gathering truth about yourself, but you also need to gather truth about the world. How is the world going to save itself? It's not going to do that. Believe me, it needs leadership. And leadership is what you must provide. Because if you don't know what you believe, if you're just spouting off somebody else's beliefs, then you are definitely needing to stop and think about what you're doing. Because look at the individuals that you're touting. Look at what they've done. Actually, you have false news, you have good news, you have all kinds of news. Look, listen to both of them. You don't listen to just one news. You listen to all the news. If you're going to just listen to one news, you're already lost. You already don't know what you're doing, and you don't know what you're thinking. If you're just listening to Fox or CNN or whatever, one news station isn't enough if that's what you're going to go for. The truth, you have to listen to them both and say, oh my God, they're both so opposite. What is the truth? Something in between. Something in between. Sometimes they tell the truth about things, and sometimes they tell the truth about things. But guess what? It's all shrouded in opinions. These opinions are what you must find, and you must say, ah, that's an opinion. That's not what actually happens. They're saying this, that's an opinion. So if you pride yourself in being knowledgeable about all the truth all the time, wrong answer. You don't know it. So please be aware of all the news, not just a little bit of it. Now, the other thing is, once you know all the news, then you can make a decision on where you stand in this political structure. And believe me, you don't want to be on either side of that fence, because they've both gone way out to the ends of the earth. They're so different. You are somewhere in the middle. And that's what we need. A new party, a new thought process, a new middle party. And that's what I would want to have happen in this world. All right, enough politics.
All right. Thank you so much, Grendel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you have to understand that's what I'm involved in.
Yeah.
So therefore, I see the truth. And believe me, the truth is nowhere in your realm to be found, hardly. A little bit here and there. Yeah.
Zanayad had another question.
Yes, Zanayad. Interesting name. I love it.
Thank you very much, Grendel. Thank you. I have a question about the world population as it stands right now.
Yes.
Is there a possibility, or is the world really planet Earth, that is it suffering from overpopulation and overconsumption?
No,
is,
not yet.
Not yet. Okay. And is there a possibility that we may see a downturn of world population to bring it to a balance?
That is what the cabal wants. Yes. But listen carefully. Do you know how much space is not being used and how much people are just piled on top of each other in other places? Japan is one great big pile of people, and India is one great big pile of people. And there is so much space on the earth that is not being used. There are so many areas that can be used for fertile area for growing crops that are not being used. And there's so much that's not being used on this planet. You know, we're not close to that kind of a population yet. There is millions of miles open for people to live in, and for people to work in, and for people to farm in. So no, we're not at that point. However, the cabal wants to make the population less so that it's more easy to govern, or easier to govern. And that is their whole idea. If we make it smaller, if we cut down the population enough, we'll be able to bring it all into a one mind, and we'll be able to control it better, and we'll be able to feed everybody. We'll be able to do it's all it's all a very good idea until you look at what the very basic part of it is, and that is they want to rule it and be able to do what they want with it. They want to have their say and make it into the world they want to make it in, which is not the world I don't think that you want to live in, because it will be very, very structured beyond what it needs to be. But structure is part of their way of doing things. So structure is good, don't get me wrong, but over structure is not. So bringing the population down, that is a nasty ordeal, don't you think? They willingly want to destroy at least a third to 2/3 of the population, just so they can get it into a place where they can govern it more easily, bring one kind of monetary unit to it, bring one kind of thought process to it, make a world government instead of many different governments, although they will let you think that there is different governments, but they will be controlling all of them. So there will be several countries like England, and there will always be in England, Germany, United States, but they will all be controlled by one group of people. And that group of people will be the ultimate power. So, and they will make decisions for everyone. And that is not what you want.
Thank you very much. So if I'm understanding this properly, so what you're saying is this is autocracy in the name of democracy.
Correct.
I see. So how do you refer to, you said that there was a point in between where it's neither the extreme right or neither the extreme left, but it's right in the middle. But the moment you give a name or label to the middle, does it not get identified and it still get some sort of a bias in the political spectrum?
Yes, but but before it gets a bias, it will get a lot of critics. The critics will make it into what it needs to be.
I see. And how does that party itself, if it were to come about, how does it overcome those criticism, or rather, how does
They
it?
don't. They don't overcome the criticisms. They employ or gain the criticisms and put them within the party. You will see what I mean. Hopefully it will happen. But the thing is, this is a place, yes, it will gain its own biases, but for now, we need to unify many places, not just this place, but there are other countries that are dividing as well. And they need the same kind of understanding, not severe differences, but severe understanding with one another. They are all people, and they all know what they are doing. And they all have been influenced by one thing or another. They must be influenced by the truth and by what they feel is right. Now, many of them do believe that they are right, and do that very opposite thing. But the thing is, that's a very small portion that has divided the nations.
Yes. Thank you very much, Grendel.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for that. Lily Pad has a question.
Yeah. Greetings.
Hello, hi, Grendel. I was wondering about the things you were talking about. My question is, what's the purpose? If you believe, well, in your belief, we are not ready for it, but why is the purpose in them for them to have it? These things you're talking about, and is that from another world?
No, this is, well, the division is caused by otherworldly thought processes to one degree, and very selfish thought processes in another degree. So it is a combination of many things that brought about these thought processes. So it's not just one thing or another, it's many things. And it has been growing for many, many years. So I can't give one answer for that question.
Okay, well, thank you. That's all. That was my question. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Grendel. Safira has a question.
Yeah.
Hello, Grendel.
Greetings.
I asked somebody else to come for a specific question, but if I can ask you first, and if you don't know it, I'll wait.
All
But
right.
before I ask that one, there are many rumors of people working with military equipment and things like that about World War III being prepared for. Is that true, or just a rumor?
I don't know if they know they're preparing for it. That's not, I don't think they want World War III because it would mean their own destruction, their own, many of them would die if they knew that they were preparing for it. The thing is about this is it's just happening sort of naturally that they are preparing for war because many people are so paranoid anymore that they prepare for the worst within themselves. They fear, they let that fear be known to many others by their prejudice, by their anger, by their trying to protect themselves with false by false means, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So yes, it is being prepared for, but we want to stop that. We don't want that to continue. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't see it really happening. Is that what you mean?
Not in a single mind sense. No.
Okay, thank you. My other real quick question is, are the government meetings still postponed due to the war in Ukraine, the intergalactic meetings, or have they been rescheduled?
No, they're rescheduled for December.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Okay, now for the real question was, and you may know it because you've been inside human minds before. And on
Yeah,
that,
that's a treat. Yeah.
there are entities called Tulpa, Tulpa. Have you
Yeah.
heard of them?
Tulpa, yeah.
They're apparently, from what I understand, and a friend of mine brought this to my attention, is that they are hosts, like symbiotic hosts inside of people's minds, and they have their own personality, their own voice, their own opinions, and they sort of share the space, and sometimes they come out and sometimes the other one, and there are people promoting creating one for oneself. Do you know who are these tulpas and what do they want? Where do they
The
come from?
tulpas are there to trigger the end times. If as many get them as want them, they will be able to trigger them into activities whenever they say so. Being part of the mind is being part of the control. They will be able to control minds, and you do not want that. They seem harmless at first, and they are very helpful, and they do all the nice, good things that you want them to do at first. But if there is, whenever they are told to cause violence or terror, they will cause it.
Oh, do you know what race they are? Where they come from?
They are Tolpa. They are from a species that are more energetic than they are physical.
Have they been around a long time? There was even a movement called Tulpamancy, like necromancy, Tulpamancy. It's been around a long time.
Yes, Tulpamancy. Why do you think there's so many shootings? Why do you think there is so many acts of violence now? That they're just starting to get control. Usually there's more than one tulpa in the mind. Where you ask for one, you'll get three. You don't want this.
Can they come in without being asked? Do people have them without knowing it?
Yes, if they are psychotic enough, yes. There is, if the third eye opens to a place where psychosis begins, they can come in through the third eye into that psychosis.
I see. Well, there are some people teaching all about them and then promoting how to get your own. So you would not recommend doing that.
No.
Because they
No.
claim not to be interfering and taking control, of course. So
They claim that, but they have not done so yet, but they will.
I see. Well, thank you, because a friend of mine was thinking about it might be a good idea, and I
No.
wanted to check on that. Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wait. How does somebody know they have one, for example?
Are you,
You know what I mean?
psychotic? No, I didn't mean you. Do you know anyone psychotic?
No.
Well,
Well,
sometimes in psychotic people, you will notice that they don't act, they're non-friendly to humans, they're non-friendly to even themselves. It's a sort of possession. If they take over on their own, it's a nasty intrusion.
Okay. Thank you so much. for
But if
answering.
they come in a friendly way, like these people are saying, they will act wonderfully for a while. They will be great. They will increase your memory. They will do all the things that you want, but they are a trigger. Whenever the time comes, these people will be violent.
Okay.
Or can be. Some of
yeah.
them will be able to resist it, depending on who they are, but many will not be able to.
I see. Well, thank you so much for answering that. Thank you, Grendel.
Yes, being in the military, I know that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's
And
perfect.
I've seen them on other worlds. They're invasive.
So is it a planet where they all congregate and decide to invade other planets?
They can actually live in space.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But yes, they prefer to be on a world. They prefer that structure of a planet, but they can live in space.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, and many blessings to you. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. You're welcome. Don't do it.
No, I don't want to.
Good.
Mhm.
Tell the other person not to do it either. It's not good.
Okay. That's why I asked for her, so she can listen, hopefully.
Now,
And-
I know that they are a trigger. I've seen them happen in other worlds, but they happen differently with each individual. Some will become murderous. Some will just become annoying and somewhat verbally abusive and violent that way. But it is a trigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Grindel, I have a
news.
question.
Yeah.
Where is the planet now in regards to the awareness level of first contact? Where are we right now?
First contact.
Well,
You're
just like the
making-
awareness of the people. Where is the percentage of where we are as a humanity?
Still pretty low. Yeah, still pretty low. Maybe 10% at the most. I don't see that many people being that aware or that understanding of what's going on.
Only, so you're saying only 10% of the population really understands what's happening with the planet?
Yeah, not even, maybe not even 10%, but there are those that do understand. Maybe some of the people here do. It's not all fun and games.
Right.
It is a beautiful thing for first contact, but it also will be a treacherous game for first contact.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Wendy has a question.
All right, greetings.
Greetings. So my question is regarding these meetings that I've been attending at night. I feel like they're with the Council of Light, possibly. And I'm wondering, because they're giving me enough awareness, and I feel like it's important. And this morning, just as I was getting ready to wake up, I was running from not from the group, but running to, like, I guess, get back into my body from astral. And as I was doing that, I noticed that there was a man, kind of an elderly man with blondish gray hair. And I thought, oh, you're the director, or you're the guy in charge or something like that. You're watching, like you're not participating, but watching. But what is this about, please?
Let me tell you this. Be very cautious of these councils that have very generic names, like Council of Light, things of that. Get names of the people that you're talking to. And
Yes,
let me tell you why. Because
I'm not even sure who they were. So that's why I was asking. Thank you.
Get names. Find out who you're talking to, because with a name comes power. If they tell you their name, then you have someone to summon, then you have someone to work with. But if you do not have a name, then they can intrude. So I don't see them intruding on you at this point, but I'm wary of those that do never give their names, because it is something they should do. It is polite, and it is something that they must do to show their goodwill toward you.
Oh, you have a big spider on that desk.
What?
I'm sorry. Somebody walked by and I had a conversation. I didn't realize my mic was still on. My apologies.
Yes. So yes, have them give you their names so that you can use their names if you need to. Meaning that if they are someone that is not of good report or reputation, you will know that by the name, sometimes by the sound of it, and by the feel of it. Now, if they are of good report, they will always give their names. If they do not give their names, then sometimes that would cause me to wonder who they are.
Can you tell who I was meeting with then? Because I feel like I've been meeting with this group like all this last week, and I don't feel like it's nefarious. I just, because like I said, it's during my astral travel and I'm just not recalling these dreams. So I just don't know exactly.
He was an elder of sorts, but it was not of a council of like a government council. It was more from a magical council.
Oh, I do know that I've been going through magic testing. Is this part of magic testing? Maybe it's the tail end of that.
Perhaps, but I'm sensing it was a magical counselor. His name is Yariyat.
Thank you very much. Were there any messages for myself or any others working with white magic?
I am not allowed to give that information. The people working on your reviews will give you that information. I am outside of that realm. I can tell you who some people are, but I am not at liberty to give you your review or let you know anything about it.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate your information and the guidance that you give to us. because it's your personality is always fun and honest and insightful. Thank you very much. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Insightful and humorous. That's me.
Exactly.
So yes, I like to poke fun at myself and others, mostly others. But yeah, mostly others. But it is what I do.
Thank you so
There are
much.
situations.
If you can't have humor with all situations and look at the humor in it, then
Well,
makes it harder.
That's why I'm in politics. It's all about humor. So it's hilarious there. It is.
Okay, in YouTube, we have a question from Jorma Lindberg. What is the next attempt for the destruction of the earth and its people by the malevolent Dracos, reptiles of Orion? The last one was this big Draco, and who tried to block the sun from Gaia?
Actually, they're only blocking the sun from Gaia for positive reasons, because there's so many solar flares. That would be the Venusians. The Venusians are blocking solar flares to protect the earth, not to harm it, not to block the light from it, but only to make sure that humans aren't harmed. But they can only do so much. So what was the other part of the question? I just answered the last part.
Right. What is the next attempt for the destruction
the
of
next
Earth?
attempt for destroying the world?
Yeah.
They're always trying to do that. There are certain places, certain beings are trying to make the air unbreathable. Some are trying to terraform. Some are trying to bring the people against each other. That one's working pretty well. Some are trying to make people believe things that aren't true so that they will be violent and kill each other, because then they don't have to. So it is that they are always trying to destroy this planet by one means or another. Yes. And so the next great battle, who knows when that will come, but I see that there will be a next great battle, but no one knows when that will be. The thing is, there's so many relative things that must happen to make it happen. So those things must fall in line.
Thank you very much for that. Sensen wants to know, once he connected with you and he felt you, he or she, I would like to know if it was really you. Thank you for your work and much love.
Yes, I connect to people now and then. Just ask anyone who has channeled me, and ask those that know me. There are certain ones of us out here that make frequent connections on the earth for one reason or another. We do want you to know that we exist. We do want you to know that we are there, that you can call on us for certain things, and that we can be helpful in certain times.
Thank you very much. Multidimensional Healing Silver Soldier asks, I asked you about saving people from human trafficking group. Do you think it's possible? Maybe work with other spiritual humans or aliens?
Many people have been saved from human trafficking, but it's become a very popular thing at this time, because people are overwhelmed or driven by sexual thoughts, because the world is so dark that sex seems so light and happy and all those things, but they've turned it into a dark trade. And so there are many that are being brought into this trade, but also many being released. The thing is, your governments, every government, has some dealings with this, positive and negative. So I am there to, as a military person, I look into these things and I know where people are and I know how to get them out of those places, but it may take a great deal of time to do that because you can't just walk in and free people. But we are working our best and diligently to get many people out of these horrible situations.
Thank you so much. Just one moment, please. Wendy Napoliano, could you please turn your camera off? You're walking. Thank you so much. All right. Anissa D asks, is Middle East facing structure changes? How do you see the near months going in the Middle East?
The months in the Middle East are still going to be very what is the word? One moment. There's no peace in the Middle East at the moment. There will be eventually, but remember this, each different group in the Middle East, the Iranians, the Shiites, the Iraq, those that are from Iraq, those are from all these different religions. All of these have basic differences, and only their religion and only the way they believe and only the way they worship will be identified as their religion. They cannot have any kind of convolution in their own religion. So if there's one thing out of step with them, then they put it down and they will fight about it. This is the way it's been for centuries, for millennia, and it will continue for a while yet.
Thank you very much. Bertle asks, will fourth dimensional energy and magic on Earth help with disclosure?
Yes, in some ways, but you have to understand what ways. Magic is part of what many aliens already know about. You are still discovering it. They already know about it. So in the sense that they know much more about it than you do, this is how first contact is partially being done, is through different kinds of magic, different kinds of creative thought process and things of that nature. But within your realm, you fight it with your social politics and everything, fight magic that is from outside the realm to some degree and will continue to do so. So it's a battle.
Thank you very much. Heymet Wali has a question. Can you tell us something about the current tilting of the axis of the Earth? It seems to be out of whack a little bit.
It is out of whack a little bit. Now, you will not find that information on any government models. You can check your scientific information all you want. They are not reporting it. They're reporting it. It's off maybe 100 miles or something, maybe something small, but it's much more than that. So, yes, it has affected the weather, as you've seen. It's affected volcanic, and right now it's going to be affecting earthquakes as well. But the weather is off, no question about it, no question by any person. The thunder sounds different. How many have noticed that? The thunder sounds different.
Definitely.
The wind sounds different. Everything about weather sounds different, and that is because of the tilt of the axis, and because of the jet stream violently moving, not just going from here to here, but from going here to here, here to here, and jutting, because two things: the axis of the Earth and the wobble of the Earth. The wobble is the same as it's been for quite a while, but with those two in together, the wobble is getting a little bit worse. Things are speeding up a little faster because of centrifugal force and different things that are happening with the actual Earth and from its core. And I could go into scientific things about that, but I'm not going to. The thing is, yes, there is definitely difference with the axis, and we're keeping it where it is. And the government knows all these things. Are they going to tell you about that and make you worry and wonder? Because many of you already know that the Earth is due to flip over. And that's what this axis is doing. It's starting to do its 1 in 800,000 year flip, where most of mankind gets wiped out. So it's not going to do that this time because it's going to be kept in check.
He says, yes, that everything sounds different for him. He said the sun sets far too far left. So,
well, if you notice, sometimes the moon is in this part of the sky, and then the next day it's over here. Did anyone ever notice that?
yeah, I did.
So yes, you're noticing things that are part of the tilt of the Earth, part of the wobble of the Earth. And some people are saying, no, it was there yesterday. Those people that don't want to believe anything that's paranormal, or they don't want to believe anything metaphysical, or do not want to believe anything that's out of the ordinary. But there are many things out of the ordinary. So I will tell you that.
Thank you so much for that. Kat has a question.
Greetings.
Yes, hello. Is this Grendel?
It is.
Oh my goodness, how are you?
I am very well, and yourself?
Thank you very much. Very good. I'm still waiting on that day when we do that mud rolling, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
I'm sure 100%.
Well, yeah. All right, good. That won't be for a little while yet, but still, it'll happen.
Awesome. I was with a friend on a small vacation like 3 weeks ago. We spent things for some grocery and stuff. I kept a note with the spendings. He did the spendings on his card. And I rounded up the spendings, and finally at the end of the vacation, it came out to 666.
Interesting.
And that's not all, because and that was 3 weeks ago. And at work 3 days ago, for 3 jobs that I do with my work, I asked my boss to check. He put the numbers on the, he had them up, and you know how much it came up with? He said to me, 6666. I'm like, oh my goodness.
So let me tell you something. Sixes can be used for good or evil. 6 is a power number. 6 is to show that there is power in the number, it has an affluent quality. And many of you have researched numerology and all that kind of stuff. So you will have many different meanings for how 666 can work out. But in the universal view of things, 666 is a power number. It is a number that says, I'm in charge. It's a number that is it can be divided by 3 and 2. And those are very powerful numbers also. So when you hit a 666, doesn't always mean the mark of the beast is happening to you or anything like that. But it does add up to a 9, which is a final number. So whatever the affluence and whatever the power that is there will bring some kind of a conclusion to whatever it is working with.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I had this, my feeling and my thought is, was like, it was a conclusion of something in my
Yes.
life.
Yes. There
Yeah.
is something that is coming to an end. And that doesn't mean forever or you're going to die or anything. It just means the end of something and the beginning of something else.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, there are certain things in people that have to die to make them live.
Yeah. Yeah, like sacrifice ego, probably.
There are many sacrifices that need to be made. And if you're not making sacrifices, this is just a comment. If you're not making any sacrifices in your life, then you better look at your life a little better, because you need to be making some sacrifices, because God has honored sacrifices and builds upon sacrifices, and not that you have to go out and buy a lamb and slaughter it or anything like that. I'm not talking about those kinds of sacrifices, but I mean giving up things to talk to God, the mind of God. Yes, as Elijah said. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I am God. I know that. So
yes.
Second question. I have this machine. I can show it to you. I can show you to you. Can you see it?
You're not on. No. Oh, okay. You want me to look through? All right.
Yeah, it's a machine that it's from Keshe. Keshe, if you heard of him.
What does it do?
So you plug it into a wall in a specific place, and it's it seems like it's doing some coating of the wires, and then it reduces the electricity consumption.
Very nice. I thought I saw a little bit of a Tesla coil in there.
Yeah. It has something like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it? Do you see something? Do you see something? Do you see if it works?
Yes, it does work. Yes.
It does work. Yeah.
There's something to it. Yes, because it does have an energy of its own. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I tried to. I plugged it for more than it was supposed to be plugged, and I don't see any results with it. So
all right, well, maybe it needs looked at, but I see the inner workings of it should be working. It should be. All right.
Yeah. Do you still working as a walk-in in the government?
Yes, I am.
Good. Probably I'll be in touch with you. I'll just ask a few things. Thank you very much, Grendel. It was good to see you here.
Thank you so much, Grendel. There's about 30 minutes left, and I'd like to bring in somebody different. Not that there's not any more questions. It's just that I'd like to bring in somebody new so we could get more information in.
Yeah, you're just tired of me.
Never of that. Never.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll remember your name.
That's right. It's
You're
Will.
on my
It's
bad
called
dragon list.
My name is Will.
No. Your voice is too low to be Will's. Okay. No, I'm just teasing.
Thank you so
much.
much.
All right, I'll bring someone else in. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Grendel.
Let me get out of here. All
Great
right.
information. Great information.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Greetings, I am Takur. I know no one
Greetings.
called for me, but I had to stop in. Some of the others were not available.
Thank you so much. Much love to you. It's always good. Always
Yes,
good
I
to
just
have you
wanted to
here.
tell you that the meetings are coming up in December. They will start actually very first day of December, December 1st. And that is the new date for the Galactic meeting. These are assuredly going to be some of the most interesting meetings that we are going to have. Let me tell you why. In the meantime, things that you don't know of that are happening out here are that, yes, the marriage group is still getting their things together for areas 53 around the world. But that is not happening until the last article of legislation is cleared, which has not been done so yet. So that is still on hold, but they continue to build in those areas. They believe that they are going to win their declaration, and that will limit the amount of outsiders that come in. And so we will see what happens with that. I will keep an eye on that for you. Also, galactic government issues with people coming in and off of the Earth is changing a little bit. Pretty soon, I believe that that could open up a little more. Maybe for people that are ill, maybe for people that need the transport and great help. But so far, it is only the elite, the government elite that want it to happen for them, and they don't want the people to be able to go. So it will remain closed until they open that up. That will be discussed in great detail. As far as first contact goes, first contact continues. There are people that are showing themselves to the world, to individuals that need to know that aliens exist and have some kind of dealings with the future of first contact. Did you understand what I just said?
Yes,
Good,
absolutely.
good. I wasn't sure I said it correctly.
Yes, yes.
So, and then also there are those medical needs for pharmaceuticals and things of that nature on your planet that they refuse to want to use with anybody but the elite as well. So we have many things that the elite is holding back from the people because they are not wanting them to know that they exist, or they do not want them to the pharmaceutical areas to fail, because that is a very big part of the economy. Is medication. Medication right now is holding the economy together, I would think, because of the money spent on narcotics and pills and drugs and pharmaceuticals and those that you find in your pharmacies. So many trillions of dollars are being spent on those things. Now, the other thing is this. Yes, there's other things that are keeping the economy afloat, of course, but that is a biggie. And so without it, if they were to give this information to the people, those economies would have to fall. Those economies may not stabilize. So that is what they're looking at. But we're telling them this. If you use these new cancer research items and cure many of these things that are going on your worlds, we can help you to balance your economies so that they won't bring down the economies, but they do not want us to be involved in any part of that. So we will not be involved in any part of that until A, they ask for our help, or B, the galactic government opens things up for us actually to have trade with your governments. We do have very, very limited trade with them, but it is only the things that are are not dangerous to your worlds that we can actually offer them. So we cannot offer them radioactive products or technology or anything like that, but base chemicals and things of that nature. Another point of the government meetings will be individuals who are needing to be heard. Of course, each and every one of you will get to say something if you want to. There's times that where humans of all countries will be able to speak and give their view of things and what they would want to see. And so they will be listening to all of your comments as well. There also are going to be talks about peace and war. And so we're going to speak about those different things, but we are not allowed to speak in depth about some things because it would break confidences. And we are not permitted to break political confidences. And so therefore that will not happen. So, but we will discuss it in a general means. And if it does get to a place where these kinds of informations are exchanged, your people must mention them first. We are not allowed to interject in any way unless we are asked a direct question about it, which has happened in the past. And I assume at one point it was a mistake for them to do so, but because it let go some information that could be used by the entire world against them. So as we move forward in these times, things are becoming more obvious to us and strained on your world. We see the great strain that is upon your planet, and we are worried that this is going to take a greater toll than it should. But keep your hearts open and loving and kind and good. That does not mean you are always safe, but it does not mean looking into conspiracy theories will make you safe either. Only things that will make you safe are God, positivity, goodness, kindness. You cannot fight against these negative beings with anything that you have in your arsenals except for goodness, kindness, love, spirituality. So keep that in mind. And there will be use for it in the future. There are many things coming. We don't know exactly what all of them are. We assume that we know some of them because of what we see in the geothermal areas of the planet. There is some activity there that we cannot stop or we cannot control. And so there will be some geothermic activity. Also weather. Weather we can help when it's not man-made. We will also be discussing man-made weather in the galactic governments, because some of this weather is made by humans and others of this weather are not. Some of it is natural, but some are also made by aliens, and we have to discuss that as well. So this is going to be a very big conference. It's going to be a conference of much information.
Thank you so much for all the updates that you have given us. Thank
You are
so much,
welcome.
Brandon. Susan has a question.
Yes.
Hello, Tinker. Much love to
Appreciate
you. I've been informed that I will be channeling a new collective that's a combination of like fire elemental energy and galactic energy, and is somehow connected to the new Earth, but it'll be almost like like fireworks coming up through my, I guess, chakra system, out through my crown chakra, and and contain within my auric field this kind of fireworks energy, and it'll be different than anything I've ever channeled before, I've been told, and kind of a like a lower deep vibration. But I feel that, you know, besides being connected to like new earth energy, it'll also maybe help pave the way with first contact. I was wondering if you could provide any information about this new connection that will be coming online for me in the next month.
Be cautious with them. They are called the Ferrock. They are elemental energies and they are sentient. But they do not understand their power completely, just like man does not understand his power completely. So they may cause damage when they don't mean to. So just be cautious with them.
Okay. All right. And also lately I've been sleeping a lot more than usual, and I've been feeling a sense of, I guess, maybe multidimensionality, kind of like a floating sensation, almost like I'm floating or maybe more I'm embodying more of like a light body form, I guess. But I've been feeling just kind of in another dimension, like throughout the day, and just like time doesn't exist very much, but I've been sleeping a lot. So I'm just wondering, am I doing like, what am I doing work in astral during these times where I'm kind of daydreaming or sleeping or checked out, or what's going on with all that? this
there are
energy
several
I've been
things
feeling.
that could be going on. There are several of you that are continually feeling great fatigue and are resting more often, which is good. But the things that are happening during these rest periods can be very different. Sometimes you are traveling in astral doing work. Sometimes you are actually mending your own body and psyche. Sometimes you are going off to prepare for a mission by going to sit in some assemblies or organizations out here, federations. And there are also those times where you are moving into the earth even deeper, to Mother Earth, to understand what she is trying to get across to humanity at this time, what she is trying to say to the world through magic and fourth dimensional energy. There are also those times outside the body where the fourth dimensional energy is giving you information that can be downloaded into your being so that it may be opened at a different time, or downloads. Many things could be happening during that time. But if you feel the sensation of floating, let me tell you that usually is a more spiritual feeling. So something spiritual is going on. It's either that you're working in the astral or that you're downloading spiritual information.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Thank you, Takir. Much love
You're
to
welcome.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Susan. We have Christine next. Christine, how are you?
Hello, Takur.
Greetings.
I want to ask you, I have two pets that I'm trying to heal, and I seem to be failing. I have a bird who is having problems breathing, Biddy Boo, and then one of my cats, Lacey, I can't heal the cuts, the abrasions on her. And I'm wondering, is there something that I'm not doing correctly, or?
I am not there when you are doing this, but let me give you a couple suggestions.
Okay.
First of all, when healing animals, you must, before you even start doing the healing on an animal, you must set yourself aside and pray that the healing will be effective, and clear yourself of all malice or negativity or thought processes. Let that go. Let them all fade out. Let yourself breathe deep. Let yourself fill with a lightness and consciousness and beauty and love, and then go about the healing. Some prayer, but if you cannot feel the injury, it is probably there for a reason that is necessary. You may not believe this, but animals have their contracts too. So it might be contractual that they keep this as a scar to let them remember something that they did wrong or that they should not do again, because they forget easily. But it could be the death of them to do it again. Now, the birdie that's not breathing properly. One moment. That is sad. How long has that been going on?
I think that for about 2 weeks.
There is like a lung disease there.
I put in different vegetables to build up her immunity.
Yes, only so much immunity can be built by that. And what she needs is antibiotics, really, but I don't know if she would want to even take them.
I raised her since she was in an egg.
Yes, she is a delicate one, isn't she?
Yeah,
I will pray for her.
thank you.
Still give her healing. She may still have a chance, but she is fading.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yes.
And my stubborn kitty.
Your stubborn kitty will get the healing necessary.
Okay.
But I don't think your stubborn kitty is on its last legs.
No, she isn't. She just.
No, she is still in good shape.
Okay. I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Thank you so much. Yana has a question.
Yana.
Hello, Takar. So nice to hear you again, and I'm touched by your empathy for the little creatures here, the little animal creatures here.
I love all beings.
Yes, thank you so much. So talking about beings, there is an abnormal amount of activity within the Stargate portal that I'm sort of guarding. And there's one being that is getting through, and I last time with Jim, I had already heard there's one star family that is especially working with the atmosphere of Earth and just using the portal as a way to come into third dimension. But I think that there's a being, a light being, a winged being that allowed me to photograph it so clearly that I think it wants to let me know who it is. Is this the Kalindi in their normal form?
Yes.
Okay, then I know. That makes sense.
His name is Zilakanzensis.
Zilakanzensis.
Zelak. I don't know.
Kansas, yes.
Condenses.
Kandensis.
Kandences.
Yes, okay. And is this being, I saw it several times in my living room, which is part of the portal because it's directly underneath the portal. And it stays around a bit. So is there a reason why it's visible?
You have a star family there.
Okay. And
And they
And-
want to contact you, and this is your contact point. He said, my name is too long. Call him Zila.
Zila. And is he the one that I can channel or look
Yes.
for contact with? Okay, then I will do that. And is there a reason why they want me to channel them?
It is time. That is all he said.
It is time. Okay, that is enough information, and it's also part of. I'm trying to bring out some information about orbs and about beings trying to stay in this atmosphere in light form, in plasma form, because they can't otherwise exist here, and to bring some consciousness about that out. Is it okay for me to use this photo of him, or is it for me personally for contact meaning? It's a bad English, but
He says, use it as you wish.
okay. Thank you very much. I will contact him and we'll speak in a bit, because I will check. I have a session with Jim later on. Thank you so much, and for
Very
the
well.
work. Much love and blessings.
Much love.
Okay, we only have one more question, time for one more question, and it will be Joan. So Joan, we only have about, like maybe 5 minutes left. So we'll have you ask your last question.
Thank you. Greetings, Tucker.
Greetings.
Greetings. I've been dreaming the ships in the sky, and also I Astro Command show up in the dream, and then a couple days I've been dreaming more again on going up in the sky and seeing those beings and flying with them, and also what I what am I doing out there, and also because of I've been my vibration is going up and down, and what are they doing in my energies that are do I have to match with their vibration and energies to be able to see them in the
They are
3D?
preparing you to see them. They are preparing you to work with them. Yes, when the time comes, you have been given some actual gifts from them. You have been given some access to them. And so they know who you are and what you are doing. Actually, when you come up there, they are teaching you healing modalities. They are teaching you how to work with energy. They're teaching you who they are and why they are calling you. But you do not know all that information in third density quite yet.
I see. Okay.
But yes, you are going. Your spirit is going, your basic elements.
Am I able to, I mean, are we able to see them in Mount Shasta this September?
You will be able to see them, yes, but not quite yet. You haven't been trained well enough in energy use yet.
Okay. So what's the energies and consciousness in interrelated to?
This is a multi-dimensional group, meaning that they are from different species. They are not just one species that are on this particular saucer or whatever it is, but I see at least 3 different species there. I see the Andromedans, I see the Endurans, and I see the Fendorians, and also I see a few Pleiadians there too. So that's 4 different.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Takur. Joan, was that it? I just want to make sure I didn't.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Takur. What a wonderful blessing it was to have you here today. Great information. Thank you for sharing. You're always welcome here. We love you.
Thank you.
And thank you. And
Much
thank
love.
all of Girk for helping our planet.
You are welcome. Much love to you all. Hello.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Thanks. Hello.
Yes.
Water.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Water.
I got the cap.
Thank you so much, Jim. Wonderful channeling, wonderful information. Thank you so much. We are going to end with announcements and blessings. Again, the channeling class has been scheduled for Saturday, October 15th. 1:30 to 5:30, cost is $150. And you can email classes@hucolo.org to go ahead and schedule that, to register for that. I can get the information out to you. Anything else, Jim? Do you have anything else that you need to add?
No, not at this time.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and do closing blessings, and then we will end for another week.
Very well.
Susan, you can go ahead and do the blessing first.
All right, thank you. Te sika to kote hea te akoho ia te hia hia soko ia te ahi kokoho ia te hia te akohoa ha saka hea e toko hi ia te hia ho saka haha ia toko toto ia te aia hia ho saka aho ia hia te ia toko he saki toko ia hia te ia sokoto hea itia hi sokota hi tokoto. Much blessings.
Purpose can only be defined by the individual, but it has broad meanings. Purpose for an individual can have more than one meaning and more than one gift involved. If you are a person of multi-gifts, remember to use them all in some way. Do not leave one behind, for if you leave it behind, it will go away, and it will not be as strong. But if you use all your gifts at the times they are needed to be used, then you will maintain a balance within yourself that will bring forth a great deal of energy and a great deal of healing, understanding, compassion, and purpose, and wisdom.
Blessings on that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Susan. Wendy.
In your soul, you will find a fire. This fire burns for a reason. It is the fire of God, and He has brought purpose to your life and brought meaning to it. Find those elements of it that you are using in this life and work on them and make them greater. Find yourself in a place of use, in a place where others can gain from your existence.
Thank you so much for that. I will do one next, and then we'll finish with Will. Turotiki ata kaana ni yachichiki. Nuhu o oratiki. Mihia ni chiati a akano oatia. Hiana aka adatukuchi. Mihi ni ata ka uana makiti ata karo o chishia nana. Kukutu nana maniata.
Lift up your eyes to God and let him see you as you see him. Work together, mingle, know him. I know that you cannot see him and sometimes cannot feel him, but he is there to be with you, to honor you, to build you, to edify you, to actually fill you with light and honor and all the things that are his. Be aware of this always. When all is said and done, you will all be connected, just as we are. We are the hive mind, and you will be a hive mind as well, but in a different way. You are created differently, and your thoughts will connect in a different way. But we will be able to interact with those thoughts in a way that will be very beneficial to both of us. Keep in mind that we are still outside of your realm, but looking in and knowing when our time is right to come. Do not be afraid of us. Do not be dishonored by our appearance, but know that we are here in honor of you. We are here to bring to you the understandings of what it's like to be together, to be a like mind, to share thoughts, to share spirituality, to share the beauty of what is and the being of God. We share together and know more as we share, because as we learn, all learn.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Jim, for, again, a wonderful channeling. We will be back next week. We will have Wendy Napoleano channeling, and Karen will be back to host. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we will see you all next week.
Very good. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye, Jim. Thank you.